The automotive industry is notoriously male dominated, but there has been some improvement in recent years. According to stats from 2019, nearly 10% of the industry was female, up from just over 1% in 1999. Here to tell us more about why women should enter the industry is Denise Caspersen, Director of Remote Calibrations at asTech, and Dara Goroff, Senior Vice President of Global Development at Repairify Solutions. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you.
So I think I'll just jump right in with my first question here for you guys. Why does the auto repair industry need more women?
Oh, well, absolutely. The reason I believe that the auto repair industry needs more women is that, first of all, women bring a different perspective to how they learn and how they apply knowledge. So if you think about a technician in a shop and sort of the idea of building a full repair plan, making sure that a vehicle comes in once and the customer walks away satisfied, I think women have innate knowledge to think about taking care of a customer and translating that into a successful and complete repair plan.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. And when you think about nearly 300 million vehicles on the road, that's a lot of opportunities for repair, right? And since I've been in the industry almost 25 years, there's always been a conversation around a technician shortage, right? If it's a technician shortage in the mechanical space, the collision space, the dealership space, right? Just all across the board. And so that's one piece. Let's fill that technician shortage. Second piece is women's buying power. 89% of the purchasing decisions are influenced by women. So the more women in the space to fix those cars, the more confidence it brings to the marketplace of women asking for their cars to be repaired. If it's mechanical, if it's collision, if it's a dealership space, right? So adding women to the bucket of repairers in the mechanical or collision space really brings more confidence to the consumer, knowing that most of the influences of purchasing comes from women, right? So you kind of tie that together. And then I agree with Dara. I think having women in the repair space adds to the strength of diversity and decision making, right? So it's just a full solution. And I know we're focused on women in the space right now, but once it becomes common, once it becomes 39, 40, 50% of those instead of just 10, it's no longer a conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, one thing here at PTEN that we're seeing is we're getting a lot of engagement from younger readers, younger women who are, really excited about this. They see, a lot of great female techs on social media, and that's making them interested. So, we're really trying to make sure we have resources and articles and stuff for these young women. So can you guys maybe offer up some tips on how these young women can really succeed when they're first getting into the automotive repair industry?
So, yeah, go ahead, Denise. I'm sorry.
No, you're. You know what? I always appreciate what you have to say, Dara. It's like we tag team really well.
I agree.
When I think about women succeeding in the automotive industry, it's really about anyone succeeding in the automotive industry, right? So we'll focus on women. What do they need to do? That's probably the same as a guy succeeding, is have a strong knowledge base. If this is what you really want to do, apply it. Reach out to people who are doing it. Find your mentors. Get yourself connected to associations. If it's the Women's Industry Network, the Women's Board, Skills USA, right? As you're coming up from a technician point of view, create opportunities for yourself by being tactical about your application. So what do I mean by that? If you like to paint in your garage, go to your VOTEC. Trades are really, really important, I think, for the automotive industry and repair, right? So I think those are things that you could do and be prepared, right? Understand that electric vehicles and Rivian and Tesla, those are a thing. And even if you don't know how to repair them today, at least you know they're a thing that's coming. And so you're prepared and you can speak to that. And collaborate with folks. Either it's your mentors, your mentees, just be a collaborator, be a part of a conversation And I think that helps.
Mm-hmm.
So to echo a little bit of what Denise said, I also think that, you know, it's funny. I have a niece who's just graduating high school. And she said to me the other day, how did you know what you wanted to be and like what to be trained in, right? And what I said to her is, well, I never really knew that I was going to end up where I am. I didn't take a linear path there. I think for a woman to succeed and anyone going into an automotive value chain perspective as far as their career, they really could think about what am I excited about? To Denise's point, do I love to paint? Do I love the idea of glass repair? But also think about, and what do I want to do just right after that? What do I want to do next? And how can I shape the thing that I'm excited about and passionate about today into the very next step? So maybe one day you are a service advisor, and maybe the next thing you want to do is be a manager at a dealership. How did you get there? What are the steps you can take? Can you ask for more responsibility in your current role? Can you learn something new, either through a trade association or through college or even night school that helps you to get to that next step? Or do you just start doing the thing that you want to do and wait for someone to see that you're good at doing it, throw your hands up and say, I've already been doing this thing. Give me the full responsibility. Always think about that next step, because that next step is going to take you ultimately down a career path, and it may not be what you expected. The great thing about automotive, though, is there's so many things that a career as a technician, somebody doing glass repair, somebody who's a locksmith even, can parlay into a career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, and you know, that goes great into the next question here, Dara. Like, I just feel that there's so many options for students. And I mean, I'm sure your niece is going through that. It's just like kind of overwhelming to look around and see what's out there, especially from the technical standpoint. You know, like our industry is fighting for these same students with many other industries, right? So if a female student is just, you know, asking you, why should they consider this line of work? Why specifically, you know, the automotive sector? What would you tell them?
Honestly, the thing I would tell my niece is there are endless opportunities in this sector. And this sector where somebody used to be able to say, you know, I turn a wrench and I fix vehicles, now could be I turned a wrench, fixed vehicles, understood how to become a computer programmer, first programmed vehicles. Now I'm writing operating systems that are running through an electronic vehicle. So not only is there paths inside of this industry that seem really obvious, but the more technical that vehicles become, the more that vehicles are tied into information security and privacy, the more opportunities for somebody who's intimately familiar as a technician with a line of vehicles or with a manufacturer of vehicles. Honestly, there's nowhere they can't go in their career starting at this doorway.
Yeah, I completely agree, right? It is unlimited. It's challenging. It's fun. It's diverse. It's continuously changing, right? And like Dara said, you could start out as a technician and end up an engineer and then end up in some kind of design firm, right? You can just go from one space to the next as long as you're driven that way. It's not a one-stop shop. In the automotive industry, it's really multi-layered. You think about, there's the insurance side, the manufacturing side, the materials side, the electronic side. So there's all these different layers within the automotive industry. Once you decide that's a space you're interested in, right? And always going to be a constant need, even if we go from gas combustible engines to electric vehicles, right? As long as that moves along in the next 30 to 50 years, right? That's going to move along. There's always going to be a need for someone in the automotive industry.
Well, absolutely. I think that's a great overview. And, you know, I think that hopefully today we've inspired some talented young women to start their career in automotive repair. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time. That was, you know, really great. And even I learned a lot. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.